Hello there, my name is Andrew Druckmann, and I'd like to welcome you to the channel because after all, the reason why you clicked on that link is because you want to learn how to get more clients for landscaping. Well, guess what? You just came to the right place because that's exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Now, if you haven't done so already yet, consider subscribing to Traffic Magic because that is what we do. We talk about different tips and strategies to help you get more people to the front door of your business every single day. Because after all, if you have nobody at the front door of your business, you have no business because that is the bloodline to your business. And also something to keep in mind, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below that is going to give you more of an in-depth training on how to get more people to the front door of your business every single day. Now, without further ado, let's get into the action. So, my very first tip I'm going to share with you in order to get more clients for landscaping is signing up for Angie.com, or also known as Angie's List, and as well as Home Advisor. Now, hear me out real quick on this because I definitely do understand that not everybody necessarily can actually take the time to pay for lead generation sites. Even though Angie's List and as well as Home Advisor, they do offer free services and they offer paid services. And you also might very well end up more than likely running into other lead generation sites. You're going to have to take the time to pay for those leads. But obviously, now, don't get me wrong. I understand if you're one of those people. If you can't do that, you don't have the funds for that, don't worry about it. I got you, because we are going to be talking about some free ways to get more people to the front door of your business every single day. It's just, I think it's okay to talk about lead generation sites like Angie's List and as well as Home Advisors for a couple of reasons. One of the things about these two lead generation sites is that people have actually been able to build up their business based off of these two lead generation websites as a great example. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't any other good lead generation websites, but in the grand scheme of things, the point that I want to make with this is that mainly when you're taking the time to build up your business and you're trying to build up your credibility, nobody knows who you are. So when you're starting from scratch, you're starting from the ground up, you're starting from zero, some people sometimes end up having to pay for leads and actually use that for their business. And don't get me wrong, I mean, obviously it's not going to be like the end all be all, because obviously you don't want to constantly keep paying for leads. You want to keep paying for clients to be at the front door of your business every single day. This is just for the time being while you take the time to build up your credibility. So what do you do? So hear me out on this. This is what you can do is once you take the time to go after those clients and you go after those leads and you nurture them, because you got to keep in mind, just because you use paid services, that does not necessarily mean that you still don't have to go after those leads. That was actually something that I personally had to learn as well, and I don't want you to make the same mistake that I did. So obviously, even when you pay for those leads, you're still going to have to take the time to nurture those leads and go after those leads. And once you go after those clients and you nurture them and you close on them and you service them properly, because after all, you're the one that's going to solve their problem and fulfill their needs, that is now going to be free. Now you can use that for your business, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So what do? After you close out on those clients, you close out on those leads, you take before and after pictures of your work, of what it looked like before, what it looked like afterwards, and or some videos. I say and or a combination of, just whatever it is that you can do, some videos and some pictures of you working and also your people working, if you have people that do work underneath you. And what you do is you take all that free content that you took the time to get and you build out a website on mightysites.com. Now, the reason why I'm suggesting that you build out a website on mightysites.com is because it's a beginner, easy, friendly way to be able to build a website. And after all, they do have tutorials on how to build out a website. So if you want to start your free trial, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below for that as well. And once your free trial is up, it's only $9 a month for you to have a website, which I personally think is pretty affordable. So when it comes to this and you build out your website, keep in mind, it doesn't have to be anything complex or complicated or whatever have you, but make sure you take that free content that you took the time to get, put that on your website, right? Before and after pictures, and also video of you working, and or a combination of. You put all that free content on there. You make sure you have your contact information there, your phone number, your email address, your uh, social media page, etc., wherever the case might very well be. So this way, they can be able to reach out to you, and you build out your website. Again, it does not have to be complex. It's not really anything complicated. Something simple will be just fine. And also, last but not least, I want to touch on with this is after you, like I said, after you took the time to close out on those clients and you service them properly, because after all, you're the go-to person to help solve their problem and fulfill their needs. Ask them to leave a review for you. Now, obviously, you can't ask them to leave a positive review, but in the grand scheme of things, of course, seeing as how you help to solve their problem, fulfill their needs, more than likely they will give you a positive review, and you put those positive reviews on your website. And the thing about it is, what I love about positive reviews is those are what I call trust builders. Why? Because most times than not, more people will believe the word of mouth of other people when they're taking the time to edifying you and they're talking about how good, how great of a work that you did when you are a good work and you deliver good work and good results for the price of what it is that you are charging. They will talk highly about you. There is a lot of power in that when other people are building up your credibility for you. And that, I personally think there's a lot of power in that, in my personal opinion, because I can't tell you how many times I've looked up other people's businesses or whatever have you, and I've looked at the leads, and when I looked at the reviews, and when I tell you that when I see there's a lot of good reviews, it makes me have confidence in their business because I'm hearing the word of mouth of other people. So I really hope that makes sense. Now, after you took all that and you build out your website on here, go ahead and also build out your account on Google My Business. In this case, at the time of this recording, it's you can see the website over here, business.google.com. It might change after the time of this recording, so just want you to keep that in mind, right? So what do? You take that website after you build out your website on mysites.com or wherever you build out a website, you put it on Google My Business, you build out your account. It's actually pretty simple and straightforward. You go ahead and you start now right here on the top right part where you click on, you build out your account. Again, this is really very simple, straightforward, and not only put your website on there, but also don't forget, you can still put before and after pictures also and video of actually, I don't think you could put no, that's right. I don't think you can put videos on Google My Business because I've never seen that before, but I know you can put pictures on there, which is pretty simple. Anybody can do that. You put your free content on there as well, and you make sure you also have your positive reviews, like what we sat here and just talked about, those trust builders on here as well. You build that out, and also it's another thing when it comes to positive reviews, those trust builders that what we just sat here and talked about. The more that you're able to put on here, that's going to help your ranking for Google, so that this way when someone takes the time to go to google.com, your profile is going to more likely pop up. But why I'm even bringing up the internet, and we're also going to be talking about social media as well. That's a great question, because in the grand scheme of things, you have to understand something. We live in a day and age right now where people are not flipping through the yellow pages or reading news articles or whatever have you when it comes to looking up someone's business to help solve their problems and fulfill their needs, because everybody and their mama and their mama's mama, they moved over to the internet. They're on social media. And personally, if you're not taking advantage of the internet and social media, I personally think you're just going to be doing yourself a total disservice and be leaving a lot of money on the table. And when people are looking up stuff on the internet, one of the trending things that is happening right now, as of today, in this day and age, people are constantly saying, oh, you want to look something up? Or, oh, I want to look this up, this, that, and third, whatever. They're going to Google it. So what they're going to do, they're going to go to google.com. That's just a very trending thing. So that's just really something to keep in mind, because I notice a lot of people, for some unknown reason, do sleep on this. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move over to social media. Now, like I said before, this is a very powerful thing. I do want to keep you in mind, though, that the reason why that I kind of had this set up right now, so this way I kind of save time on the recording when it comes to the internet speed, because it might be kind of slow, and I don't want the video obviously to drag out. So just kind of something to keep in mind. That's why I did this ahead of time. But here's the thing of what it is. I'm going to tell you when it comes to social media is when you figure out exactly who your target audience is going to be. When you figure out what your niche, excuse me, when you figure out what your niche is going to be, now you're going to know exactly who your target audience is going to be. And when you know who your target audience is going to be, that's going to put you in a better position to be able to help solve their problems and fulfill their needs. And you're going to be able to service them properly because maybe you might very well be doing landscaping projects where it might be like small properties, could be even low poverty area, or maybe also depending on the detail work or whatever have you, whatever it is that they're asking for. Maybe something, it could be a small, like I said, small property, could even be a bigger property where it might involve some more work, so you might have to charge a little bit more money, or maybe you might very well be targeting, your target audience might very well be in a luxury area. Whatever the case might very well be, whoever your target audience is going to be, it's important to know who they are so that this way you can solve their problems and fulfill their needs. And it puts you in a better position so that this way you know what it is that they want. So I really hope that makes sense. Now, the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to this, once you build out your account, and personally me, I think this is actually a great example to model after. I'm also going to show you another one on another property to model after. But one of the main things I do want to talk about is when it comes to modeling after other people, it's okay to model after other people if it looks like that they are successful. It looks like they're doing something right. It's okay to model after them. Now, don't do exactly what it is that they did, but what you do is you take the context of what it is and what they're doing, the concept, you can use it for your business, because if they're doing it in such a way to where it's working for their business, then why not do it for yours? Because it doesn't make sense if you see someone that's successful to reinvent the wheel when someone else is obviously doing something right, or at least if it looks like they're doing something right. So I really hope that makes sense. And when it comes to building out your content and you building out your content, your platform, I will tell you, make sure you constantly keep posting content every single day. Like I said before, if you want more people to the front door of your business, you have to constantly keep working on your business every single day. And this is I personally think is some great content to model after, because look at this, you've got people that are working, they look like that they like what it is that they do. Look at him, he's just sitting there just chilling. To me, this is just very attractive content, and it's simple content literally anybody can do, right? And so what type of platforms do you want to use? Here's the thing. You can use many different platforms. You can use Facebook. We're going to do Facebook and Instagram as an example for today's video, but not only Instagram, Facebook, you could do YouTube, for example, also, another example, TikTok, LinkedIn, Quora, etc. There's many different social media platforms that you can use. Now, you got to keep something in mind. Some social media platforms are a little bit more different than others or whatever have you, but that's going to be up to you to take the time to make sure you do your due diligence and you do your research and you figure out how that social media works. I'm just going to tell you that Facebook and Instagram, when it comes to free to get more people to the front door of your business every single day, these are two platforms that are some really good platforms to use. There is also other platforms you can use, like I said, YouTube, etc. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to tell you whatever social media platform that you use, make sure, like I said, you know the limitations behind it, because that's going to be on you to figure that out. Most of the time, it's really not that hard. And also, the last thing I do want to talk about when it comes to this is when you take the time to create an account around your niche, wherever it is that you're working at, make sure that you are, that you're taking the time to know the area of where you're at and figure out exactly which target area that you are going to be working at. So now the last part I want to actually show you is actually this one right here. Esteban's Lawn Care. Go ahead and let that load up. I'm trying to close out on this. I apologize. Normally it does that. So, okay, there we go. See, just even the background, the banner cover right here. Like, this is just, like I said, this is beautiful content that literally anybody can do this. Obviously, they're closed now, but that's because at the time of recording is the reason why that's the case. But this is the thing I want to talk about right here. This is going to be one of the last things we're going to cover. What I was sitting here talking about when it comes to positive reviews. Again, I know I say this a lot because I think this is a very powerful thing when other people are talking positive about your work and they're talking positive about your business. That helps bring more people to the front door of your business every single day. And that is a very powerful thing. And honestly, the last thing I'm going to tell you is, when it comes to putting yourself out there, that's going to be the main key takeaway I'm going to tell you more than anything else. If you want more people to the front door of your business every single day, you have to constantly be willing to put yourself out there. You have to constantly keep marketing yourself. Even if you have to go into your local area, where it is that your target area is going to be at, even if you've got to hand out business cards or flyers or whatever have you, go out and talk to people. Even if you have to do that, even if you go to like your local Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever have you, in the grand scheme of things, if you are not willing to market yourself and you're not willing to put yourself out there, you're going to have a very tough time getting more people to the front door of your business every single day. Now that's going to be the end of this video for today. If you felt like you got some value out of this, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. What do you got to say? Because I always want to know what you got to say. And also, remember, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below that's going to give you more of an in-depth training on how to get more people to the front door of your business every single day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.